Welcome to another Norway episode of Rithu the Explorer Travel Vlog. In this episode, we will take you behind the scenes of Bergen's historic Bryggen area, explore the centuries-old buildings and narrow alleyways that have withstood the test of time, discover the rich history of Bryggen, from its origins as a bustling trade hub to its designation as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Join us as we uncover the hidden gems and fascinating stories that make Bryggen a true cultural treasure. In today's episode, we'll cover Bryggen, a Hanseatic heritage site in Bergen, Norway, known for its historic commercial buildings, museums, shops, and restaurants, and its UNESCO World Heritage status since 1979. Bryggen, also known as Tyske Bryggen or the German Dock, is a collection of historic commercial buildings situated on the eastern side of the Vagen Harbor in Bergen, Norway. This charming area has been recognized by UNESCO as a World Cultural Heritage Site since 1979. Bryggen is a historic harbor district in Bergen, one of North Europe's oldest port cities on the west coast of Norway, which was established as a center for trade by the 12th century. The history of Bryggen goes back to about the year 1070, shortly after the Viking Age. Located at an easily defendable position, it was still within reach of ships both from the far north, Iceland, and mainland Europe. It became an important Nordic trade hub. 300 years later, the Hanseatic League established their office and started their export from Bryggen. The Hanseatic League was a medieval commercial and defensive confederation of merchant guilds and market towns in Central and Northern Europe. Hanseatic League, also called Hansa, German Hanse, organization founded by North German towns and German merchant communities abroad to protect their mutual trading interests. The Hanseatic League established a total of 4 overseas Hanseatic offices: Novgorod, London, Bruges, and Bergen, Bryggen being the only one preserved today. The Hanseatic League took over the buildings in Bryggen as the town grew into a significant trading center. In 1350, the Hanseatic League established a Hanseatic office in Bergen. They gradually acquired ownership of Bryggen and controlled the trade in stockfish. In return, they brought grains and cereals and other manufactured goods to be distributed up the coast and into the country. For centuries, the League had a monopoly on exporting stockfish from northern Norway to the European market. These warehouses were used to store goods such as stockfish from northern Norway and cereal from Europe. Over the years, Bergen has faced numerous fires due to its wooden houses, and Bryggen was not spared from these disasters. After the devastating fire of 1702, the buildings were rebuilt, while others were demolished or destroyed by subsequent fires. Due to the downfall of the Hanseatic League, in 1754, the Hanseatic League operations at Bryggen ended when all the properties were transferred to Norwegian citizens. As the activity at Bryggen decreased after 1900, the buildings were abandoned. However, from the 1960s, the former trading in stockfish and commodities was gradually replaced by small arts and crafts businesses. An increase in the number of visitors has led to the establishment of restaurants and tourist businesses. The buildings are made of wood in keeping with vernacular building traditions. Today, some 62 buildings remain of this former townscape, and these contain sufficient elements to demonstrate how this colony of bachelor German merchants lived and worked, and illustrate the use of space in the district. The urban units are rows of 2 to 3-story buildings, signified by the medieval name Gard. The building complexes at Bryggen were divided into gard or farms, which in turn had individual rooms called trade rooms. Notable buildings in the area include Belgarden, Svensgarden, and Jorningsgarden, Bredsgarden, Bugarden, Engelgarden, and the oldest and tallest building, St. Mary's Church. Despite the challenges, Bryggen still maintains its historic charm. After a fire in 1955, an extensive archaeological excavation took place, uncovering fascinating runic inscriptions known as the Bryggen inscriptions. The Bryggen Museum was then established in 1976 on part of the cleared site. It is characterized by the construction of buildings along the narrow passages running parallel to the docks. They have gabled facades towards the harbor and lie on either one or both sides of the narrow passages that have the functions of a private courtyard. The houses are built in a combination of traditional timber log construction and galleries with column and beam construction, with horizontal wooden panel cladding. The roofs have original brick tiling or sheets, a result of fast repairs after an explosion during World War II. At the rear of the courtyard, you'll find small stone warehouses or storerooms, known as kelleray, which were constructed to safeguard valuable items and goods from fire. This uniform design was tailored to suit the living arrangements of the Hanseatic trading post or trading house. Today, Bryggen is home to museums, shops, restaurants, and pubs, making it a lively and vibrant part of Bergen. While records show the city of Bergen existing before 1070, the current buildings at Bryggen are of a much later date. Visitors can explore the streets of Jakobsfjorden and discover museums like Bryggen's Museum, Hanseatic Museum, and Schatzstuen Hanseatic Assembly Rooms. Bryggen stands as a testament to the social organization and spatial utilization of a quarter that dates back to the 14th century. This northern fondaco, unique in the world, preserves the memory of one of Northern Europe's oldest major trading ports. Today, Bryggen is a significant part of the historic wooden city of Bergen. We were fortunate to come across a restoration area in Bryggen. On today's episode, we explored Bryggen, a UNESCO World Heritage Site in Bergen, Norway, known for its historic buildings, museums, shops, and restaurants. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys at the next one, and don't forget to subscribe.